Hey everyone, Myra Lean here, founder of Be Out of Your Mind. Hello, how are you? How are you today? So, you are probably watching this because you are about to make a big decision about potentially joining the RTT training, Rapid Transformational Therapy training that is provided by Marisa Peer and her team. It's an online training, and I know they recently started offering the in-person training again. I'm doing this video because I feel accountable. I wrote a blog about my experience when I just started the training, so this is now a year and a half ago almost, um, about my experience with the program and just sharing what it is. And so I'll obviously plop those links below there. Maybe you've already seen them, and now this is the next video. Everything that I say there absolutely holds true. I provide an overview of the training. I'm still so glad that I did it. I'm very glad that I did it. But I have just spent a lot of time talking with people. I'm now an alumni, so I'm seeing a lot more of what's going on. And I just want you to make an informed decision, but most importantly, make sure that you're making this decision from a clear and good intention. And I'm going to help you do that in this video. The reason why I'm sharing this is really with working with my own clients, with talking with people who have been interested, and then also seeing people in the training and after the training. So this is a broad perspective now of, I think, things that you really need to ask yourself before you start this. And I'm going to go even broader and say that this is an analysis and something that you really need to think about when you're starting any course that you're buying, even a degree. I would say if you're trying to get a certification, a degree, any sort of thing that's going to add to your education and to your training and who you are. And why I am just so passionate about this right now is because I've really zoned in my specialty on helping people overcome self-sabotage and self-doubt and really get their businesses going. Like that's now where I've ended, focusing my entire business. And so I'm now very familiar with this space, and what I'm seeing is that for a lot of people, they have training already. They have a certification already. And for whatever reason, no, actually, I'm going to tell you the reason. They keep looking for more and something else. And I want to call that out to you, if in case that's you. You kind of just need to ask yourself, what gap is this new training? So whether it's Marisa Peer RTT training or this other certification or degree or whatever it is you're looking at, maybe you're comparing different things, whatever it is, what gap is this going to fill for me? So just pause what's coming up. If it's something along the lines of, I need to build my credibility, I want a brand, I want skills, I want authority, I want all of that, I would pause, because that all sounds like the right answer and it sounds like the right reason to do this program. But I just want to pause you and call out something that I've seen over and over again, that, and Marisa talks about this, so I just have to call it out, is the underlying feeling that you are not enough. That you are, so if you already have training, let me make it even more concrete for you so that you could really see, where is my intention? Right now, do you already have a product or service that you can sell? If your answer is yes, are you selling it? Are you selling it at the price you want, at the consistency you want, at the level you want? I think if the answer is yes to both of those, then you probably wouldn't be watching this video. But if the answer is yes, I have a service and product, but no, I'm not selling it at the level or consistency or all that I want, that's where I would pause, because let me be super blunt, this training isn't going to close that gap. Just because you get another modality under your belt does not then bring you automatic new cells, additional cells, and it will not bring you confidence. And that's something that I feel accountable to say. This will not bring you confidence. Another, and not just RT, no degree, none of that. And now being a specialist in self-sabotage, this is a cycle of one day, only if after I do this, then I can have and I can be and I can earn and I can ask and I'll be happy. So really be honest with yourself of like, what gap am I trying to close? Because if your need is this deep self-belief and this confidence and this growth and this removing this feeling like you aren't enough, or you can't, there's no way that you can be this person until you have X level of years of experience, X level of degrees, blah, blah, blah. I'm just telling you, like, if this isn't addressed now, this cycle does continue. And this is what I'm seeing with some of the RTT students and even alumni, that they now have this degree and they're like, so how do I figure it all out? Like, they're still in that cycle. So I just kind of ask yourself those questions. If you don't have a product or service right now, and this is kind of your one thing, and you are ready to just learn it and do it, and it's going to be your thing, I think that's a good thing. And that's kind of where I came from. I mean, I was doing something totally different. And I had no training in anything, and I decided to do this, and I fell in love, and I did it. But I will give another caveat even for that group, that I honestly, I fell in this boat for quite a long time, that I I did it. Actually, I don't know why I did it, but I did the training, and then I wasn't all in. I was still 100% focused on my corporate career and doing that. And so I really wasn't all in. And so if this is for you, something that you want to replace your full-time income, you have to be all in. Because the people who have plan B and plan C, which I did for a very long time, it just, it's not going to move. Like, it's nothing's going to happen for you until you're all in. And that's honestly true for anything in life. Like, you have to burn some bridges and just say, I'm going all in. Like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it happen. So that's how it needs to feel for you going into this. And so having said all that, like, really, after all of that reflection, is it a hell yes? For some of you, it might be. It's like, yeah, I'm all in. This isn't about, not feeling like I'm good enough, or that actually, I don't have anything to sell. Like, this is going to be my thing, and I'm going to go all in. It's going to be 100%. Like, then yes, then do it. Then it's right for you. But if you have any of these doubts, and really, the solution isn't a program. It's not a training. It's the inner work that needs to happen. Can RTT help with that? Yes. So can you do the training and work with your peers? Because there's some, free sessions that you kind of have to give each other, or some practice sessions. So you can do that, but I will say you're practicing with other students. So I did that. I got some level of healing during my training. But for me, my big breakthroughs came once I, was totally done with RTT as far as my training. And I started working with coaches who called out my BS, who challenged me, who really just didn't let me sit in my own self-doubt at all. And then on my own, luckily I have RTT, so then I was able to go deep and then uncover what was going on in there. But without people calling it out in me, I wasn't able to see it. I don't know how I would be able to see it. It's kind of our blind side, which is why I'm making this video, because I want you guys to be able to have that inquiry and that reflection, because this is a big decision. And because I've written so many great things about RTT, and honestly, I'm sure I brought hundreds of students into this program and to no benefit of my own. I think I've had like two people be so kind and say, hey, like, I would love for you to be my referral or whatever. And, so I've had like a couple people do that, but for like no benefit to me. I've just like honestly shared my experience. I just feel responsible to make sure that you have this inquiry, that you have this reflection, that you really understand what it is and why you're doing what you're doing. And let me just take a look at my notes. Oh, two more things I want to say. Because the other thing, if you are doing it to get this confidence or to get this credibility, two things. One, you're going to have to keep paying it for it annually, because you can only use the RTT practitioner or licensed to practice title if you pay the annual fee, which right now is about $350 a year. Fees can go up, as you guys know, which isn't a lot. It's not a lot, but what I'm saying is, if you just finished the training and spent that much money and you don't have clients because you still are in your cycle of self-doubt, what's the likelihood that you're going to want to keep investing in this? So that's something that I've also seen. The second thing is, there are people who criticize RTT, like they don't believe in it. I mean, on my blog, honestly, if you look at the comments, I just let them. I can block comments. I can decide who posts and who doesn't, but I just feel like I should create the space for people to say what I'm okay with people having their own opinion, and I'm confident enough in my method and the services that I provide that I'm okay that there's RTT criticism. I'm okay that people are doubting it. I welcome challenges. And so, but I want to call that out, because again, if you're looking for this certification to give you certainty and confidence, this stuff is going to shake you up. And I've had people message me and, they're sending me like screenshots of the newspaper, like the media or whatever, like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, it doesn't affect me, because again, my confidence and my belief in what I do does not come externally. It's something that I've worked on, healed, and I've developed from within. And that's something that's a whole nother post, and I will absolutely make it about, where does this self-doubt come from, based on working with clients at the subconscious level. Where does this end up coming from? Because it does fall in a few buckets, and you can work through it, and you can get healed, and you can live in a place where you don't require this external validation for you to live happy. But find help to heal this, because if you think about it, how expensive is this self-doubt to you? Right? Like, if you didn't watch this video, you would have just spent how many thousands of dollars on training, and then probably then what, right? Like, when does this cycle end? And how much money are you leaving on the table right now with your products and services, if you do have them, with your self-doubt, right? Like, self-doubt is expensive. So I highly, highly, highly recommend getting help, working with a coach or working with a guide or whatever it is. Stop doing these like free courses and things like that, because that's part of the cycle. That's part of the cycle, and I have to call it out. That's part of the cycle of, if only I learned this, if only I do this, if only da da da. Just pause. Tune in and be honest with yourself, and ask for guidance if you believe in that too. Ask for guidance and be directed to the answer that makes sense for you and for the best way for you to find healing and sureness. And you could still decide to do this training or not, but it really is irrelevant, because you know that your success is guaranteed and that you will shine. You're meant to do something. You're going to go out there and do it. All right, guys, what questions do you have? What did you learn from this? What was your reflection? What did you get out of this? Please share in the comment below. It was so good talking with you guys. I plan to post more often. I've kind of went away for a little bit on YouTube, but I'm so happy to come back and be honest and raw with you guys. So whatever questions you have, let me know. All right, bye.